Imagine this. You've worked your whole life, paid into Social Security for decades, and now that retirement has finally arrived, your monthly check is the lifeline that helps you cover groceries, medications, and bills. Now picture waking up to the news that in Arsene Ling Arshelu, you'll be getting one of the largest raises in Social Security history. Sounds amazing, right? More money every single month starting January Erziehung Arshelu. But wait, there's a catch. That same increase that's being celebrated as historic could also trigger higher taxes, bigger Medicare premiums, and a financial squeeze that many retirees aren't prepared for. Today, we're going to break it all down. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why Social Security benefits are getting such a big bump in Arsene Arshelu. How much extra money you might see in your own check. Why this so-called good news may actually come with hidden downside. And most importantly, what retirees can do right now to prepare. So stick with me because this update isn't just about numbers. It's about your retirement security and your financial future. Inflation is like a silent thief. Every year, the prices of food, housing, gas, and healthcare slowly creep up. If Social Security checks stayed the same, retirees would fall further and further behind. That's exactly what was happening decades ago before COLA was created. Back then, retirees' benefits were fixed and inflation ate away at their value. People struggled badly. So in 1995, automatic COLAs were introduced. Instead of Congress having to vote on raises, benefits would now adjust automatically each year based on the CPIW index, the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. Here's how it works. The government looks at inflation during July, August, and September. They compare that to the same months from the year before. Whatever percentage prices went up, that's the COLA for January. Simple, right? If inflation is Bifender R, you get a Bifender R bump. If inflation is Bifender Wu, you get Bifender Wu. And if inflation is flat, you might get no increase at all. Now let's put this into perspective with a little history lesson. The biggest COLA ever came in each Senjil by Bashers, a whopping Bifender Shusustan San. Imagine your check suddenly jumping by double digits. That was because inflation at the time was out of control, with prices skyrocketing every month. Other notable years, 1981 11.2% increase, 1990 5.4% increase, 2009 2010 2015 0% increase. Yes, zero. Because inflation was, fast forward to the last few years, 2021 1.3% COLA tiny, barely noticeable. 2022 5.9%, biggest in years. 2023 8.7%, the largest since 1981. 2024 3.2%. 2025 expected around Erden Lukten Bifended Sen. Now experts are warning that Artsenling Arsalup could once again be historic. Projections suggest it might land between Bifenger U and Bifenger Lu, depending on how inflation behaves in late Artsenling Arsa War. All right. Enough theory. Let's talk about what this means for real people. The average Social Security benefit today is around 1 by Jubai per month. Let's do some quick math. If cola is Beifinger Sen, your check goes up about Worcestershire tea. If it's Beifinger Wu, that's a Julesher War raise. If it's Beifinger Lu, you're looking at E by Escher Cis Extra, which adds up to nearly EC by more per year. For someone receiving R Wu Byte a month, a Beifinger Lu COLA would mean an extra E byte Woosers monthly or Isbat annually. And if you're part of a retired couple where both spouses get Social Security, together, you could see your household income rise by over Sand, Lingen, Ursuling, Arsalu. The best part, once this increase kicks in, it's permanent. Your checks don't go back down. Future COLAs get calculated on top of this higher base. It's like compounding growth, and over time, it adds up significantly. So let's pause here and focus on the positive. Why is this historic COLA genuinely good news for retirees? Immediate relief. Retirees will finally feel some breathing room after years of inflation that ate away at fixed incomes. Bigger permanent base. Remember, COLA's stack. This isn't just a one-time bonus, it's a lifetime raise. San helps the most vulnerable seniors who depend heavily on Social Security, especially those without big pensions or savings, will benefit the most. Psychological boost. Let's be honest. Seeing a bigger number in your bank account every month feels good. For many, it provides peace of mind and reduces financial stress. Zalian, and in an era where costs are rising everywhere, even an extra e-byte or so per month can mean the difference between affording necessary medications or skipping them. And you knew this was coming, not all that glitters is gold. Because while Arsenling Arshaloop's cola looks like a blessing, it may also bring new headaches. Let's break down the bad news. Higher taxes. Most people don't realize Social Security can be taxed. The IRS uses something called provisional income. If half your Social Security plus other income passes certain thresholds, up to Beifinger Bashawu of your benefits become taxable.